Many of the changes that we're making this year are as fundamental changes as we did last year too. So I would say it's its own type of revolution, maybe. Looking at them in turn, we have kind of two big buckets of features this year. One set based around a battle for possession, and the other based around freedom and creativity in attack.
So we got 5 big features, and all of them are in aid of creating true battles for possession and delivering on freedom and control in attack. And those 5 features are our new version of the player impact engine and a new feature around controlling the ball that we call FIFA 13 first touch control. Those 2 are really focused on creating a true battle for possession. The other 3 big ones that we have are complete dribbling, attacking AI, and tactical free kicks. Complete dribbling is us advancing all of our dribbling mechanics and bringing them together to work in harmony. Attacking intelligence is new behaviors all over the pitch for your teammates and how they analyze space, how they decide to go on runs, thinking 2 plays ahead, really taking the intelligence of players to the next level. And tactical free kicks is all about us giving you way more opportunities from set pieces, chances to run little plays, little layoff passes, run guys over the ball, fake things, the defensive side, adding and subtracting players to the wall, creeping the wall forward, all these little games that happen in the real world at set pieces, we've brought them into FIFA to happen here for you. Realism is always the key, but fun is always the focus, and that never changes. We always want to make the game the most fun experience for our gamers as possible. Now, the lucky thing for us is we get to model a sport that is already fun. Everybody plays football around the world because it's the greatest experience alive. Maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm not, but I really think it's one of the best experiences in the world. So by us going deeper into the details and improving the contextually accurate situations, we're getting closer to that real sport of football, which inherently is fun. And we don't feel like we ever have to make that sacrifice. I mean, we make decisions here and there sometimes to ensure that everything's still usable and not too complicated in terms of controlling things on the pad, but the focus is always trying to get the sport as real as possible, capturing that unpredictability and that drama of the real world football in FIFA 13, and that in and of itself is a great experience for our consumers. We're constantly reading the forums, reading reviews that we get every year, and trying to get every little tidbit of what people like and what people don't like. I think the biggest things that they fed back to us this year was they wanted to see more improvements in the AI, and that's the feedback that we got, and that can be interpreted in a number of different ways. But what we chose to do is we chose to invest heavily in our positioning system, as we felt that that's what the majority of the cases that we read and we heard back were alluding to. So we've invested heavily in our positioning technology to change the way that players analyze space and change the way that they go on runs, giving them new abilities and new ways to go on runs, curving runs around defenders, curving to stay onside, thinking 2 plays ahead so that they're analyzing the game the same way that professionals in the real world do, to bring that same flow and the same excitement and the same opportunities that you get in attack. So our focus is not always trying to teach people how to play the game. What we try to do is build a game that people who understand football, which is a vast number of people in the world, can play inherently. So we want to try and not include mechanics and things that are difficult to come to terms with if you're not a video gamer. But if you're someone that understands football, you can look at the TV, see what's going on, and understand what's going on in the game, and think through the game and really enjoy football as a sport at that level. Bringing all that unpredictability and drama of real world football back into the game so you can experience it there.
So, I mean, we're obviously, as football fans, keen to have as many kind of competitions in the game as we can possibly get. I mean, the entire team's football fans, and we love the video game, and we love the sport and the video game together. Unfortunately, it's not always possible for us to have the rights or the licenses to every competition. We do to the UEFA Euro tournament, so that's why we're able to do this. For the vast majority of teams and leagues, we kind of include them in the main FIFA game. In this case, it was something that came along later in the year, so we added it in as additional value. Not really something that we're going to be able to get to with every tournament on earth, but certainly something I would love to be able to do. Unfortunately, I can't tell you again about future DLCs that we will have in FIFA. The one that you did call out, we do have the UEFA Euro competition this year as a DLC in FIFA, as you heard about yesterday and the last couple of days. So we're quite proud of that, and
you know, it's a model for something that maybe we could do in the future, but we're not making any announcements about any other DLC that we're doing in the future at this time.
Is the striker we cheer. What you're hoping for becomes what we all believe.
Puede convertirse en el protagonista del partido.
Because for one magical month of madness,
As you mentioned, last year we added the Arabic language to the game, and we're quite proud of that. It's a big area of the world for us that really loves FIFA, and we want to try and do as much as we can for those fans. As far as what's going to be included in this game, unfortunately it's not been announced yet, so I can't give you the dirty details, but if you come back to us later, I can tell you all about it.
Sure, so it was a big success. It was quite a challenging undertaking, and you know, I was lucky enough to meet a number of journalists and fans of the game from Arabic nations over last summer who came in and were talking about very excited and indeed identified a few things that we did wrong. Yeah, I got so much feedback about that, it's untrue. And believe it or not, we knew nothing about that until it was pointed out, and that's one of the advantages of having this kind of global network of people that love our game. They're like, you did that wrong. Okay, I'm kind of sorry, and hopefully no one was offended, but ultimately having two commentators is all right, isn't it? It's kind of an important thing for us to try and support all of the whole world, really, and this was a big undertaking for us. So absolutely taking it very seriously. Can't really talk about anything new or exciting, unfortunately. You're probably disappointed to hear, but maybe there'll be some exciting news later this year.